Welcome back, guys, and today we're going to be doing the first investment video of EAFC 24. So if you're new around here and you need some coins, maybe your team isn't quite built, like myself, you are in the right place. And guys, we're giving away 8 copies of EAFC or 8 sets of FIFA points. Whatever the winners want, they'll get to pick. We're giving those away at 15,000 subs, and all you guys have got to do is subscribe and send proof over on Instagram and you'll be entered in. And as usual, guys, if you need some coins in a quicker way, well, so if you guys are sick of losing at FIFA because your team isn't good enough or you're not good enough at the game, then right now you need to head over to skycoach.gg. Not only can they coach you in your weekend league or play your games for you, you can buy any amount of coins you want, and all of the services get 10% off right now with the code PRORECALL. Go check them out below. Make sure to click the link in the description and let's get into it. So for the investment, guys, we're going to be looking at 3 things. You've got silver stars, you've got marquee matchups, and of course on top of that you have general investments. So on the general investment front, if we have a look at things like gold team of the weeks, there is actually a lot in here which we can kind of discover that's going to be useful. Now on the first front, Moffy is one of the most interesting players to look at. I mean, look at that card. Is that a card that's going to be going for 10k in the coming weeks? I mean, even in the first weekend league, I think this card shoots up absolutely. Now, right now, you can pick yourself up a Moffy very, very cheaply. If we go over to Moffy on the transfer market, I believe, as it stands, he is currently one of the cheapest cards on the game in terms of inform, being 11,000 coins. So if we go here, he's gone up already. I advised this a couple of days ago before, and he was initially literally as low as you can be. He was coming up for 10,000 coins. Now you can see you can't get him for 11 there. Now what you can do, of course, is snipe the card. Now, of course, the cheapest right now is 11,500. There's nothing there at 11,500 or 11,250, but you can definitely still snipe him. There'll be a lot of players who pick this card up a lot cheaper than what he's currently going for. You've got one there for 11k. I'm going to keep that Moffy, not only potentially for my bench, but also as an investment. When the first team of the week comes out, or the first weekend league comes out, he is going to shoot at least the 15k, because a ton of players are not going to be able to afford your Osimhen's, your Nkuku's, your Haaland's, or the other kind of ridiculously high rated players. And these people are going to go for a cheaper alternate. And when this guy is a League One player with 93 place, he's 6'3", and he's got brilliant physical stats, he is going to be the guy a lot of people turn to. Now, are you going to be able to pick him up on a snipe in a couple days? Maybe not, but as it stands, you can grab him for 11k, you can potentially get him for a little bit less, and you'll be looking at a very, very good investment. I mean, 10.5 right now, I could sell that on for a profit, but if we pop it on the transfer list, we let it wait there for a bit, I'm sure that card is going to go up by a few thousand coins. Now, if we have a look at the other team of the weeks available, are there any others which are likely to go up? Now, Hummels, for example, was one that was going up, and obviously he's kind of had that shoot up now, but are there any others in the availability? Now, Gahersi here, or Garessi, he's going for around 10,000 coins. Now, once people discover that this guy could be a very, very useful midfielder, maybe that card goes up by a few thousand coins. If you've got the availability to do it, I would put most of your cards in Moffy. The next one I would actually go for is Mkhitaryan. Now, I'm actually going to be picking him up for my team. That card is absolutely phenomenal for a centre mid. Once people start delving into the Serie A teams, which I think will happen over the coming weeks, that's going to be one people are looking at. Now, of course, you've got your general informs that are soaring at the minute because informs are quite unpackable. You don't really want to be looking at investing in anything over 20k mark at the minute, because I would say in those higher marks with the informs, you really don't know what you're going to be looking at. What I will say is Al Dasari is probably a good one to go for on the basis that he's a Saudi League player. You're not going to find many Saudi League players that are very useful in terms of actually usability in the game, and this guy's going to link to the likes of Al-Awen, and then there's the striker who I for the life of me can't remember the name of, but there's also a hero striker who is also available in the Saudi League. Now, those 3 up top would be brilliant, and I think that when people have Saudi players coming up in these promos, this guy's going to shoot up. So you can grab Al Dasari as well. Once again, you just want to grab him on a snipe, because realistically, if you can snipe an investment at lower than their current value, you're never going to lose coins. It's a no risk investment. So right now he's going, from the looks of things, for about 13,000 coins. Seems like actually 14k might be the mark for this guy. So people can see that this is a usable card, but he's not really going for a ton. So I would say if you can pick him up for the 13, maybe the 12,500 mark, I'd probably say. There's nothing on the market for him at 13k. So you just want to grab him under the market value where you're guaranteed profit. We've got one there at 13k. I could sell him now, or we hold it as an investment, which is what we're going to do. So I've got two nice informed investments to start off. Now, if you guys like this football kit or any of the football kits that I've been wearing in the videos, check out bestfootballkits.com. You will find the best quality, the best prices, and you get 12% off with my link in the description. So make sure to go check them out. Now, on the standard Premier League front, what you want to have a look at is gold red defenders. Now, where you want to put your coins is the ones that are just obviously going to be used in starter teams. You got Malaysia, you got Tavares, you've got Wan-Bissaka as well, and then of course you got the likes of Martinez. So these are defenders that you know people are going to be picking up early doors. Ake as well. All these defenders, although very usable, very easily gettable right now, when the game comes out on Friday, they are going to go up. Now, you don't want to put too many coins into these. I'd say maybe pick yourself up 5 Akes, 5 Akanjis, 5 Martinez, that kind of thing, a couple Nuno Tavares, and make sure you're getting them as cheaply as possible, because right now is the cheapest you're going to get them. Then you've got the likes of Henry here, who is quite a usable card. He won't soar up because he's a very cheap one, but he'll have a big boost. You've got Gabriel as well, and Gomez. So there's a lot of cards there, and also you want to have a look at their availability and evolution, something that really is going to change the value of cards this year. Now, on the silver rare front for the silver stars, you really just want to be looking at, I'd say, attackers and defenders with obvious potential. So when you go on the attacker front, that's a pretty obvious one from the start. Ogbean, 91 pace, 74 physical. That guy is going to soar when a Silver Stars objective comes out. Similarly to Alanga and Nelson. Now, of course, all of these guys are fairly well priced at the minute. Nelson isn't going to be as good in game because of that physical. I would say Ogbean is a very, very obvious start. So what we're going to do is just have a look at bidding on a few Ogbeans. Of course, you can pick him up in a standard way. You don't have to just bid on him. But realistically, you want to be getting as much of a chance for him as possible. So if we pop the max price out around 1,000 coins, we'll bid on all of these to about a K, because realistically he's going for more than that at the minute, so it doesn't matter if we bid him up to that amount. You just want to pop him on. I mean, that one at 1.1K kind of shows we can definitely grab him at that value. So let's go for a few at the 800 mark, the 700 mark, and you just want to pop a few bids down. You can see he's snipeable. I mean, that 950 isn't bad at all. Let's see what the cheapest we can snipe him for right now. I think it's probably going to be that 950. So that's the cheapest card on the market now. We're going to take that ourselves because that's technically going to raise the market value of the card itself anyway. And I will be doing a Silver Stars team in the coming days, guys, so do not worry about that. But to look at the defender front for the Silver Stars, where you want to be looking is high physical and reasonable pace. Braithwaite definitely isn't a bad one there, being that he's 70 pace, 71 physical. That's a nice card. Osho as well, not to just stick with Luton, but there is a few good Luton players in there. They have a very Silver Stars based team, so you're going to find a lot of the Luton players will be on there. Anderson, probably not so much for the investment for that pace. Totti Gomez, once again, another good one. I mean, that's a silver card already going for around 2 or 3K. So let's have a look what we can do on the front of getting a Totti Gomez cheaply or bidding him up. Now, bidding, obviously, on that kind of card, he's obviously one that people are going to go for. So you might not be able to get the bids in as well, but you're going to be able to get a snipe on him. So if you do some compare price or just do some general sniping, there will be one that comes up. And even if you're getting him for maybe 2.5 or, I mean, that was a very coincidental guess, but 2.5, that's a brilliant card, and we're going to pop it into my own Silver Stars team. I'll use it for now, and obviously when that objective comes out, that's going to soar and I'll get the sale. Now, on the front of marquee matchups, we've got a Benfica Porto matchup. So if you want to have a look at investing in these guys, it's definitely not a bad shout. So if you pop yourself over to around the 900 mark, you've got Galeno, you've got Terreni, you've got Sanusi, and if you actually take off of the gold rare filter and just go gold, you're going to find a lot of common players in there as well. I would suggest just on the lower end, bidding yourself up on a max price of around 350 coins, bidding yourself up 2 or 3 pages of these, and once you've got them, just hold them until the marquee matchups comes out. Not only are they cards that aren't going to really lose any value at all because they're on the lower end anyway, they're a no risk investment, and also when the marquee matchups comes out, you'll be absolutely laughing. Obviously on the front of Benfica, it's a similar story. You've got a ton of cards there that you can just bid up. So in the lower ranking of marquee matchups investments, this one's a brilliant one. Then when you head over to the Premier League, you've got the likes of Fulham and Chelsea going at it this weekend. That's going to be another one. If you have a look at around 950 max, once again, not really a lot on the Fulham front. You can pop a max price of 350 and bid those up. Similar to Chelsea, you're not really looking at a lot there, especially with how absolutely muddied they've been this year. So you can really make a very decent investment on those too. Now, when you head over to the Bundesliga, if you pop over to, if we get on here, if you look at RB Leipzig and then you look at the likes of Bayern, they've got a game this weekend. So RB Leipzig, Bayern, once again, gold cards on the lower end. You're absolutely laughing. You've got Henriks, you've got Sesko, you've got Campbell, and all you want to do is just bid on the lower end. Similarly similarly to buy them. They're very safe investments because they are based on pretty big games. Musiala, absolutely ridiculous card. I mean, look at that absolute beauty. That's going to soar, I think, as well. So if you do have the coins to have a look at that, definitely have a look at those. Now, on the front of cards that are good to invest in, I actually had a ton of female players. I had the likes of Morgan, Swanson, Lavella as well. I've sold all of them because they've gone up so high. Now, I'll be honest, that's a risk. When the game comes out, they could absolutely soar, but they've had such a high push that I can invest in other cards. Now, what you can invest in, which I think is probably a very safe investment in the minute, is icons. So what you want to do is, for example, pick an icon in your budget. So right now my budget is 200,000 coins. So we'll go to around the 250k mark. Let's have a look around here, 241. Let's have a look who we got. We got Scholes, we got Sucker, we got Gattuso, we got Larson, Trezeguet. Now, who of these looks to be the most usable card? I would say Perez right now is looking pretty good out of those guys. And with the investment on the icons, what you've got the ability to do at the minute is not only invest, but snipe. What's good about icons right now is people do not have coins. So you can actually get a pretty good snipe on a lot of icons very comfortably. So if we have a look at what Perez is worth, how much we're actually going to be able to get him at, you're not able to pick him up for less than, from the looks of things, 215. So what we could do there is go and snipe him at around the 200k mark, and we're going to be looking at an easy result. But then what you've also got the option to do is pick him up at the 215, what he's actually going for. First weekend league, that's a very usable card. He's French, he gets links with a lot of players. It's going to fit into a lot of teams. Now, on the female front for investments, I would say it's a stay out investment for female players at the minute because so many of them have soared. Because actually, in the first few days, they were all dirt cheap. And I think it was because people essentially just weren't buying the female players, which is very silly. I bought a ton and made a ton off it. We genuinely made about 200k just off of those investments. I've put 50k into other stuff. I've invested a little bit in this video, as you've seen. And I've been putting things into actually just playing the game because I am a FIFA player at heart. I do really enjoy it. But you do want to steer clear of those at the minute because they've soared so high. Now, if you're already in them, I would say potentially you might want to keep them in. It's going to be a risk. We don't know how that's going to play out on game release day. But if you do have investments, what I would say is don't sell them until you want to use the coins. I have 200k here. I'm going to spend 100k on the team that you saw on the start, and then I want 100k to play around for videos. I've not got the ability to leave those investments in right now because I need the coins. Whereas you guys, if you don't need the coins, I'd say leave them in until you're really going to be at your max profit. If you have enjoyed the video today, guys, all you got to do is subscribe and drop a like down below to say thanks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.